Hi everyone, Melanie here and welcome back to my channel. Today I made a video for anyone who's in the aftermath of a breakup with someone they think is borderline. Now breakups are tough anyway, but when it's with someone who's borderline, it's especially tough because not only is it bringing things up for you, and if this was a particularly toxic relationship with a bitter ending, then no doubt it's brought stuff up for you to the surface that's just adding to the anxiety and stress even more. But the thing about the borderline is that his or her world is never really still. It's not very centered at any time. It's like they're never really finding for long that moment of peace and happiness that they're looking for. But with the borderline, we've been pulled into their world, and that world is one of chaos and never finding stability and peace for long. Feels pendulating. That was my experience anyway of my borderline ex, that he would pendulate just in his daily activities, wanting to be raw vegan, to purify himself. There was a sense of wanting to purify himself, which to me speaks to a deeper level of wanting to remove the shame that he's been holding on to. And then just pendulating, switching, swinging over to binging on drugs, because it's what happens with borderlines, the impulsivity. And just the swing back and forth, back and forth. And then obviously that's in the relationship he had with me as well. They're breaking up, wanting to get back together again, wanting to see a therapist, changing his mind. It's never really still in that world, isn't it? And if you're an empath, you're someone who can just really attune to how someone's thinking and feeling and really get into their world, then it would make sense that after they left, that you're still in that world. And it's disorientating, the world of a borderline, not knowing what's up or down, left or right, and also being on the other end of it in the relationship, walking on eggshells, because you don't know whether they're going to just fly off the handle, whether they're going to be in a good mood, and how long it will last for. It's an uncertain and unsure world. And for myself and for many of my clients who have come out of a relationship with someone who they think is borderline, and it's still there, it's the uncertainty, the unsure, not being able to trust their own perceptions, acting out of character, maybe lashing out, moments of anger, confusion, wanting to go online to find more information. Because the thing about dating someone who's personality disordered is that it's just way more intense than any other relationship than your average Joe. And we just want to seek answers. That's what we do when we're confused about what the hell just happened. We want to seek information to get clarity and to get closure. And this is one thing that I personally think is, and what's worked for me, is that I don't think you're ever going to get closure from someone who is a narcissist, highly narcissistic, from someone who is borderline. Because to get closure, that involves actually having a real conversation with someone. And if someone's constantly just denying their own stuff, and just with the borderline, just not being able to handle them being a bad person, it's highly unlikely you're going to get the closure that you're looking for about why this happened. Why me? Can we not make it work together again? Do you really think that you're going to get the answers that you need? And if it's been a while, this is an ongoing thing, how long is it going to take for you to get the answers from her or him? I would say that the most important thing to do when you've just broken up with someone who you think is borderline is to focus on rebalancing yourself, finding your feet again, and to trust that this is actually all part of the process. It is absolutely normal to be feeling this way, to be feeling disorientated, like your internal compass is off. It's normal to feel this way. And you know what? You might be acting out of character, maybe lashing out at times, not acting like you normally do, not being able to trust your perceptions, maybe becoming a bit more of a recluse. This is a grieving process. It's the end of a relationship, and it's made even worse because it was a dysfunctional relationship that's also, as a consequence, brought up stuff for you to the surface. So there's a lot to deal with. And it's like you've been caught up in a tornado, and afterwards you're just feeling dizzy, and you need to find your feet again, don't you? Now, one great way of getting your feet back on the ground, finding stable ground again, is getting back into your body, becoming more embodied. So many people are seeking the answers by overthinking things. And it's not a bad thing to go online and to type into the search bar, dating a borderline woman or borderline man. And you know what? It's actually a great way to find other people who have been through what you have, and maybe you can communicate and find some support there. But however, we're still in our minds when we're doing this. We're sat at a computer, we're typing away, just staring at a screen. We're just thinking of how to get ourselves better. But right now, what you need is to come out of your mind and become more into your body. So that's movement, that's spending time outside. One of the important reasons why we need to get embodied after a breakup is because we're too in our heads, overthinking things. Why did this happen to me? Why does this keep happening to me? What did I do? What did I do wrong? It's just going to drive us crazy, and as a result, we're detaching from our bodies. We're not really listening to our instincts, and instincts are felt at the level of the body. Now, this is why it's so important to get out of your head and more into your body, because the instincts that we have when we meet someone, whether it's seeing someone that you love and feeling the flutters in your stomach, or walking in somewhere there's tense energy and you're like, oh, I don't know about this, and you tense up. There's always instinct. Instinct comes through the body. This is our animal cells. This is what we're given. This is a gift for us to be able to judge whether an environment's safe. We need to learn to trust our perceptions more. And part of that is discerning what is intuition and what's just fear-based thoughts. And where does that come from? That comes from learning to calm your mind and to be able to observe your thoughts more. And it also comes from being more embodied and listening to your bodily instincts. And when we become more embodied, not only are we becoming calmer and listening to our instincts and our intuition, we're learning to trust our perceptions again. And this is a big fear of my clients during a breakup, that they're just going to keep meeting people like this. Or what if they meet someone and they'll just automatically label them as a narcissist, but they weren't, and they start driving themselves crazy. And yet, we're all equipped as humans to be able to trust our perceptions. That's why they're there. And it's intuition, it's instinct, it's logic, it's being in control of our choices as well, mastering yourself to some extent. That really helps. So to sum it all up, what I highly recommend, if you're in a beginning stages of a breakup and you're finding it a really confusing time, then take some time out, especially in regards to your borderline ex. I know it's not as easy to say if you're co-parenting with them or you have to work with them, but if you can, just cut off communication for an extended period of time at the very least, because trust that in this state where you're very disorientated, that you could be easily affected by the words and actions of your partner. And what you're trying to do now is to find some stable ground. So that's really taking time out and being selfish and focusing on restoring yourself again. And we do that by getting our sense of self back and building it up again and grounding ourselves and becoming more embodied. There's a reason why when people do yoga, they feel relaxed afterwards. It's you're out of your head and into your body. That's quite simply what it is. It's stretching, it's movement, it's the flow of energy. It's just walking, exercising, going outside. There's so many things that we can do to get us out of our bodies. But our current lifestyles of being on technology, on our phones, on the computer, we're surrounded by the EMFs, and we're not grounding ourselves. It's draining, and it's keeping us in our heads, and we're getting postural problems. And it can be quite simple as just taking some time out just to stop thinking about it and learning to find a place of calm within yourself. I highly recommend this book, Everything You Need You Have. It's by Jared Kite. Not being paid to promote it. I just really like the book. He has this technique called the pendulum exercise, I guess, and it's to see yourself when you feel like you're caught up in something and you're feeling emotionally dysregulated. Try to see it as a part of the pendulum swing and follow the pendulum up to a place where the little hub there, it's unmoving, it doesn't sway, it keeps its place. And that's what he's getting at. So in the moment, to be able to see yourself as transcending the swing to a place of stillness and calmness. And what this does is when you visualize yourself getting into this place, it does calm you down. And in this calmer state, you are much better able to make better informed decisions and to trust your perceptions. So that's just an exercise I want to share with you. I call this place becoming the observer. I quite like visual kind of images like that because for me it does help to be able to like see the bigger picture basically. And in the bigger picture, it's always chill. Everything's going to be okay. And just trust that this is all part of the process. Like with any breakup, we recover from it eventually. So trust that even though you're feeling really massively disorientated, not feeling like yourself, trust that it will actually be all right to take time out and focus on restoring yourself. And if you are finding this difficult to do, if you are needing closure and you need more information to help figure things out, and maybe things have been brought up for you as a result of the relationship that you want to talk to someone about it, highly recommend reaching out and trying to find a support group, chat with people who've been through this, drop me a call as well. My email address, mel@thegothcoach.com, or visit my website. Coaching might be helpful for you. So I'm going to end it there today. I hope this was useful for you. Subscribe to my channel if you like the videos that I've got coming out, because I want to get to 1,000 so I can do live videos. And drop a comment. Take care. Bye-bye.